Flapping my arms, I begin to cluck. Look at me, I'm the disco duck.
Let go, Mama. I got to have me a Mama.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Hey kids, welcome to Grumpy Nostalgia, the Second Look Cinema podcast, the show where we go back to that blockbuster new release wall of your memory, we grab a copy off the shelf, we pop it in our VCR, and we see what time has done to it. I'm Justin, that's Mike.
Tora, terrible.
And together we're here to help you navigate all those landmines littered down memory lane. So the landmine theme is going to carry over nicely, Mike. Really? The dog days are here in more ways than just weather, right? Unfortunately, the summer season has become synonymous with, especially modern movies, summer duds, summer flops at the box office, Mike.
Yes.
We thought in honor of this year's, let's say, less than lackluster performance, the summer box office, Mike, given the likes of Supergirl and Disclosure Day and He-Man and the like, we thought we'd do what we do best. Let's go back and look at nostalgic movies, but this with a little twist. We're going to go pay homage to the bombs of old, Mike.
Hooray! There were some back.
Yeah.
It's not just a modern phenomenon.
Right. Yeah. So we're excited about the idea. We thought we'd do a special summer series. We're going to call Bombs Away.
You drop a bomb on me, baby. You drop a bomb on me.
A look back at the worst movies of the 70s and 80s. So here we go. You ready to jump into this, Mike? This is going to be a tough stretch.
I'm ready to drop a bomb on you, baby.
Fair enough. So we thought, what a better way to kick it off than to celebrate a film's 40th anniversary, Michael. We're going to go back to one of the most synonymous movies with box office failure ever made. We're talking about Howard the Duck.
Quack, quack.
Gentlemen?
Marvel.
A Marvel superhero movie. The mighty have fallen, right? All right, so let's just get this over with, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so this was directed by a guy named Willard Hike. He also directed a movie called Best Defense with Eddie Murphy, which was the worst Eddie movie ever made.
Yeah.
So he was on a roll. On the flip side of this, he won an Oscar for writing American Graffiti with his wife and screenwriter here, Willa Katz. Yeah, so
that's how he got the job from old George.
Yeah, he and George were partners. He did a lot of collaboration with LucasArts. It's hard to believe, but Lucas himself had a lot to do with the making of this movie. He produced it. It was his passion project, Mike.
Wow.
I guess rather than making more Star Wars, he wanted to do this instead. but there you go. This was actually originally offered to John Landis, but he didn't like the fact there was a bunch of cars chasing and a big cop car ends up in the pool. He thought it would sound just like his other movie. That sounds to me like that
sounds like a movie I'd rather see. Yeah.
But our friend Willard got stuck with this, so there you go. He was also the guy. Speaking of Lucas, Willard was the guy that originally suggested to Lucas that Darth Vader should be Luke Skywalker's father.
No. Okay.
Yeah, so he's got that contribution to pop culture at least.
Okay. Well, there you go. You win some, you lose some.
So he and his wife, Mrs. Katz, wrote this along with another screenwriter called Sam Gerber. We know him from a lot of cartoons, Mike. He wrote a lot of kids' cartoons, if you can believe it. He wrote the Mr. T cartoon, which
I pity the fool.
Which is a big favorite of mine.
Okay, there you go.
Dungeons and Dragons, which is a big cartoon I watched a lot. A lot of Scooby-Doo, Mike, and Thundar the Barbarian. Like, he was famous for that, very prolific with that show.
What about Fritz the Cat? That seems like more up his alley.
Yeah, but I think he was probably out of his league writing this movie. Some of those cartoons were probably a little more high art than this movie, but we'll get to that here in a minute. It had a ridiculous $37 million budget.
Oh, wow.
To a double take there. The duck costume itself, the mask, cost $1 million.
What?
And to be fair, it was pretty well animated. It was
Yeah.
from a puppetry standpoint, practical effects was pretty good. But I don't think that's enough to cover the other sins of this movie. But we'll move on.
No.
This was released in the dog days of summer, Mike, August 1st, 1986,
Wow, summer blockbuster, huh?
nearly 40 years ago. Wow. So, Mike, this movie is synonymous with failure, and I don't think the cast had a whole lot to do to thwart that. But do you want to go through the cast and maybe the main players here to see who had the stomach to actually be on film here?
The cast actually reflects, more of the failure than anything. Our lead is a lead singer for Cherry Bomb, played by Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
I don't even remember her name. I don't care. I don't want to know. I mean, but she did play and sing all the music. So she wasn't dubbed or lip
Yeah.
sync, and she actually played the guitar. So, problem was she didn't do her own acting. That was a big problem. I
Forgot one thing.
I don't know what happened to Leah Thompson. That was in Back to the Future. She was adequate. But wow, terrible. Tim Robbins was in this movie, one of his early projects. It's hard to believe.
A very nuanced performance, I thought.
It's hard to believe that he was an Oscar winner many years later, and
Yeah.
I don't have no idea how he thinks about this movie. I'm sure he wants everyone to forget it. Kind of like just put it back in the dustbin. He plays a wacky scientist that's kind of silly, kind of goofy. I don't know what else to say.
His common sense would dictate, yes.
I know. Very very nuanced performance from Tim. Jeffrey Jones had some success earlier in the year, I think, with when he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, probably about the same year.
Mr. Mooney, yeah.
And we'd seen him in Beetlejuice and various Tim Burton movies and
Amadeus too.
Yeah, and great emperor. But yeah, he fell in some weird times, and we won't go into that.
Just when you think the movie couldn't get any creepier, Jeffrey Jones shows up.
Another creep. And he plays he shows up about 45 minutes into the movie. So, there's really no bad guy until he shows up. And then you have to wait for his transformation into the dark overlord of the universe, which
we'll
that needs an acronym, I think.
It adds some detail.
he's a physicist in the movie who plays Dr. something or another. So he's your bad guy. And I think there's 8 people that were required to play Howard the Duck in this movie.
That's right.
Little people and voiceovers, and I don't feel like naming all of them. And Holly Robinson, famous for 21 Jump Street. She's in this movie as one of the bandmates of Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, her film debut. I don't think she really played the bass though, Mike. I'm guessing.
I don't know, man. She's in the credits. She was.
You think the whole band went method and actually did like a?
Oh yeah, music? It was crazy, just like that thing you do. Everybody played their own instruments.
Right.
It was great. But anyway, that's your cast. Don't worry about it.
I think that's more than enough. Thank you, Mike. Some notes on that cast. So Phoebe Cates and Tori Amos were tried to audition for Leah Thompson's role, but they were deemed, unbelievable. They deemed not good enough. Robin Williams was the original voice for Howard, but he got frustrated because his, let's say, improvisational style was tough for the animators to match up with the beak and all that stuff. So he got frustrated and just kind of left. John Cusack and Martin Short also threw their hat in the ring there, but they gave it to some other guy, a guy named Chip Zine. One of the little people that played Howard was Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap.
Oh, that's crazy.
He sat in the torso of Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi. Well, there's really nothing to talk about here, guys. Bear with us. We're trying.
And I noticed one of the ladies was in Total Recall that played one of the girl ducks. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Go with that. What you
was
will.
it? Thumbelina, the murderous prostitute that?
I think it was.
Well, let's hope so. Let's just go on suspicion at least.
Let's assume it is.
All right, some other notes. You mentioned Leah Thompson's singing and playing her own music. She still has that Fender Stratocaster. She still owns that and still breaks it out every now and then and plays it. So that's kind of cool. At the screening for this film, it was let's say unpleasant. The audience did not get it and or like it, and it actually started a fight. Producers, legendary producers, Sid Sheinberg and Frank Price got into a fist fight because one of them they couldn't believe the other one had greenlit this film. As a result, they had to be separated. But the results notwithstanding, they forced this on the American public in August. So, yeah,
they're proof positive that test screenings really don't work very well.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall, but you have George Lucas and $37 million behind it. You're going to put it out there anyway. So in the crowded landscape in 1986 in the movie theater, you had, before this movie came out, you had things like Aliens and Big Trouble in Little China and some things like The Maximum Overdrive were in theaters as well. This came out on August 1st along with Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives.
Jeez, we were on 6 by that time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Flight of the Navigator, which is a bit of a cult movie that people seem to like. The top 5 movies in the box office that year were Top Gun, Crocodile Dundee, The Karate Kid 2, Back to School, and Aliens. Howard the Duck came in number 53. Just a few places behind.
That's pretty good for a summer movie, huh?
Yeah. So on the other side of the scale, you had The Last Emperor taking in Best Picture for that year. So, not the greatest story for movies in that little era there, but we made up for it on the radio, Mike. On some top hits on the radio the week this movie came out included The Glory of Love by Peter Cetera. Can't get away from this guy, right?
No.
Other white guys that left successful bands, you got Peter Gabriel. He had Sledgehammer.
I wanna be Sledgehammer.
Which was a hit for a while.
Great video.
Yeah. We don't have to take our clothes off, proclaimed Jermaine Stewart here.
We don't have to take our clothes on to have a good time. Oh no, we could dance and party all night, and drink some cherry wine.
Not a good song, but an earworm for sure. And they had the Danger Zone from Top Gun earlier the year. You get our friend Kenny Loggins.
Middle of the tension, begging you to touch and girl. Highway to the danger zone. Right into the danger zone. You get.
Yeah, and I don't know if even he could have worked his magic better than Thomas Dolby did on this Howard the Duck movie.
Oh yeah, I think any artist can get a groundhog to dance to your music. You got to pay homage to. And on the music, I'll just wrap it up. The music scene. This is the year that We Are the World came in, and swept all the Grammys, and confused Bob Dylan among other people. He still doesn't know that's. I don't think I bet he doesn't even know he's on that track.
Probably not. He got pushed out of his limo and said, "Bob, sing a couple lines."
What time is it, man? All right. So, other things going on in 1986, 40 years ago, gang. Gas was 89 cents, so you could drive away really fast from the theater. That was nice. You had the World Cup going on. It's the year that Maradona scored his hand of God goal for Argentina. Argentina's still in the World Cup.
Yeah, speaking of bombs away, how about Germany, huh?
Yeah, there you go. They're in the tournament still, without some controversy. Where would the World Cup be without controversy? I love it's when millions of Americans pretend like they know something about soccer. But whatever. Every 4 years. Disposable cameras were all the rage, Mike. This is before, cell phone cameras, all that stuff. So it was neat to take a bunch of photos and then just turn in your little catalog cartridge there to the Walgreens and throw away your camera. Back when carbon footprint meant nothing.
Wow.
This is the year that The Legend of Zelda came out, Mike, keeping gamers tied to their couches for years and years and years. Mad Cow came out as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. In homage to this film's location of Cleveland, Ohio. This is the inaugural year of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in said city.
Yeah, this movie really used that Cleveland location very well.
It sure did. Yeah. Beautiful city, right? It's the year that the 5'7" Spud Webb won the NBA Slam Dunk contest.
That's right. Atlanta
An
Hawks.
event that's a shell of its former self. It's unwatchable now. Now they just let people dunk and all they want. They can miss their shots, but they play like a hip hop music track while they're doing it, Mike. So it's really great. So
I always used to like the 3-point contest when they played the Miami Vice theme.
the countdown.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's great.
What I
I've
don't know
dialed
about
out, too.
what I don't know about the modern NBA could fill a book. Wow. This is the first year that Pixar started. Is almost pretty much a result of this movie. This is the when fledgling studio LucasArts put all their eggs in this basket, and
Pun intended.
the results were not very flattering, of course, and they were in some serious financial trouble. And then Steve Jobs swooped in, saved the day with the cash infusion, and now we have Pixar as a result of that, Mike. So there you go. At least something came out of this movie.
Yeah, it sounds like George Lucas put his money in the right spot, huh?
Yeah, there you go. So we don't want to talk about this movie. We just realized that we just made a huge mistake, gang. But we made a commitment to you guys, and we're going to try to get through it. So I think the telling tale for this movie, Mike, is if you go to its IMDb page, the image on their own page for this movie is not even of the movie. It's from Back to the Future. It's like Leah Thompson and Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future. they couldn't even muster up enough courage.
I'm telling you, there's some people who just want to erase this movie from existence. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
God
including us. So
Yeah.
let's burn through this so we can get out of here. So, Mike, if you would please, how about you hit that button? Yeah. So you open up in it looks
There's
like
two
a modern.
moons. Two
Yeah.
moons, Justin.
That threw me off. But it looks like a modern apartment. There's guys coming in, throws his keys on the counter, turns on the TV, pours himself a glass of wine. But it's not a man, Mike. It's a duck. Quack. Howard, the duck.
I love how they give you all these little clues before they show them the big reveal. He's like the movie poster for My Little Chickadee and Blade, whatever, something the other Breeders of the Lost Ark or something.
I was so fed up with the duck puns.
The rolling egg. I can't forget instead of Rolling Stone.
Mallard card. 30 seconds into this movie, I said, you know what? This was a horrible idea. Because they sold those puns as high comedy. Like you were supposed to like that.
I know. That was
it did not make me laugh. And I thought
it was a third grader's idea of a good pun. Wow, let me show these commercials that advertise things like they would use, for feather fungus.
Fungus.
For crotch itch. Come on.
It's so awful. I think you hit on it, Mike. It said like this should be a child's cartoon. This should not be a movie.
All right.
But and there's it contradicts the theme of the comic, and I guess we'll get to that at the end. But let's not try to rationalize anything about this from an artistic level. So let's keep going.
Back to the exposition. So
he's sitting there watching TV. There's a bunch of duck actors doing duck commercials in a parallel universe, more or less. And he's sitting in his easy chair, and it starts to vibrate, and then all of a sudden he starts to transport through space and time in his armchair. And some sort of gravitational pull is pulling him away into the universe. And he doesn't implode or anything. He just goes through space and lands in Cleveland, Ohio.
I gotta say, the effects they use to actually show him getting sucked through the wormhole and go through like different, almost like a wormhole in the galaxies.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, wow, that's a pretty good effect. I had a glimmer, after all seen all the stupid puns, I had a glimmer of hope. But then,
yeah, that's
and even the duck boobs, we had to get to
that was very upsetting. What I don't understand is like why when he opens up the play duck and looks at the centerfold, it looks at a new duck. that was much more tame. But then he goes through and crashes through a wall of a girl duck in the bathtub with like
Yeah.
visible duck nipples,
With human
with
like
real nipple. Yeah,
boobs.
with you.
Yeah.
Just ugh. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be
All
that
right.
way. Is it? Is it movie?
You got that.
Fine. All
Then
right.
then
So
I, then like I say, it's followed up by this gorgeous view of space. And then
yeah, it's
all of a
like
sudden he like I say, he lands in a dirty armchair in Cleveland.
yeah. So what are we doing here? So anyway, he ends up in a back alley, and what's interesting to me is like people just accept the fact that there's a duck.
Yeah.
He lands on some bikers. He finds a bunch of what Hollywood thought '80s punks were. There's some fighting there.
And it's like they smear some grease on their face and put on a
Yeah,
bandana, and
yeah,
instantly you're an '80s villain.
and of course the women's biker gangs called Satan Sluts, Mike, which
Yeah.
so there you go. Anyway, so that happens, and he gets kind of roughed up a little bit. As this is happening, we see the film's heroine, Leah Thompson, playing with her band Cherry Bomb. Some very dated music, of course, but it's intercut between scenes of Howard getting mauled by local punks. She exits the bar and darks down a dark alley, and some of the said
That
punks.
was smart move. Smart move.
Yeah, yeah, nice job, Leah.
Nice job,
But
baby.
yeah, so of course, some of the punks, circle her and start giving her some business, and Howard springs to action and exercises his quack foo.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Oh,
It's like, okay, all right,
all right.
you're really pushing me here, movie. But anyway, so uh, Leah just accepts the fact that there's a duck, a talking duck that smokes and drinks beer in Cleveland, and brings him home.
And
Yeah.
and he's remarkably like untraumatized by the fact he's going through a portal. Like he
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
almost. It seems like a small bother. He's like just says, "What a rotten day." Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like like he took the wrong exit off the highway or something.
Yeah.
He equates that severity to that. But anyway, so she brings him home and she gets to know him, and she says, you know what, he obviously wants to get home. So Leah knows a guy, so she puts Howard in a garbage bag and hauls him off to this laboratory. And
Oh,
that's where
did
you
you
get
like the
introduced.
fact when she looked through his wallet, she found a duck condom?
Yeah, an unsheathed condom, dude, just to loosen them.
Ah,
Like that's how condoms work,
that's how
guys.
that works. Yeah.
What? Oh my God! Oh, what are we talking about here? Why don't we get real jobs? Yeah. So anyway, they take him to the lab, and we get introduced to Tim Robbins, who plays very subtle, nuanced performance here. He plays a scientist, and he wants of course to explore and research the duck, and they don't hit it off, and this whole thing really offends Howard, and he ends up getting mad and leaving Leah. And,
Oh, I
there you go.
know. He's so upset with somebody trying to help him. Wow.
Yeah. So
What a great character to root for.
right, yeah, you really like Howard here, and he says, "Well, you know what? I'm here now. I don't know why, but I got to go get a job." So he goes to the unemployment office, and for some reason, it's just casually accepted that a duck is talking to this headhunter, giving him a job, and he gets a job as a towel boy in a massage parlor. So that's good.
That was really bizarre.
I was just biting my lip here at this point. I'm like, okay,
I
whatever.
really this movie is just so like sexual, and you realize that Howard's such a like horny duck,
Yeah.
and it just really is bizarre.
It's right about here where I thought, okay, the producers of this film don't know what to do. They said it's a great
Yeah.
idea, but we didn't think this through. So let's just put a bunch of like silly situations strung together here.
Guess
And that
so.
includes he tries to make amends. He goes back to the bar where Lee is performing, and he finds out that her crooked manager is stealing all her money. And then he goes from beating up punks to beating up punks in the bar.
It's real believable too, the way he does
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
So that they become friends again, and then there's a big makeup scene, and then oh boy, stay with this guy.
Were you like me when he's wandering around Cleveland? Didn't you hope he would wander into like Chinatown or something?
That was
Get strung up.
Just seeing him hanging upside down like Peking duck. That'd be
Been
great.
great. Great ending.
Da-da-da-da-da-da, the end.
Thank
But
you,
anyway,
movie.
Tim Robbins shows up with his mentor, his boss, Jeffrey Jones, just when they could get it any creepier. And he claims to know what happened. He's been monitoring these weird happenings in space, and a cosmic accident has put Howard on the planet. He feels that they can reverse the flow. They can bring Howard back, and then so that they go back, and then
Um,
yeah,
did I? It was a throwaway line that I didn't want to rewind to listen to, but
uh-huh,
they're using at this laboratory that Dr. Creepy's working at. They have this thing called a spectroscope, and like
okay,
it's this giant laser, and it's pointed at the sky, and this is what brought Howard the Duck down.
right,
But what was his purpose? What was I mean, was
yeah.
this laser supposed to bring down like something else? What was the point? Am I asking too many questions?
I don't. I'm speechless.
I
If
just didn't.
if
It was
that's
such a
rhetorical.
it was such a throwaway line, and
Yeah,
obviously I was watching the movie, but
right.
even then it was just like glossed over. Like, oh yeah, we got this big laser we sent into
Yeah,
space, and it
I
specifically brought down this one duck from this armchair in Washington D.C. off this duck planet.
you said the words.
I did, and they were wildly inaccurate because they were supposed to be pointing at Alpha Centauri, in that direction. But somehow he grabs this one duck, and
Yeah.
I know I'm supposed to I'm
Like
thinking too
I'm gonna
hard.
have to cut you off here. I think you're
It's a comic
for
book.
your
I
own
know.
for your own benefit. I need to
Sorry,
stop you.
I'm trying to. It's funny because you can look at our list of podcast movies, audience,
Uh-huh.
gentle dear audience,
Yes,
and you can
if they're
see
if you're even
movies.
still listening. Yeah.
You can see movies on there that actually have some basis in science,
Yeah.
um, cosmology, kind of
Right.
planetary fact instead of fiction.
Uh-huh.
And you see something like this, and it's hard to just shut your brain off. And
Yeah.
that was my problem. So after
Okay.
that, and after all the puns we just saw about the duck planet, this stupid idiot duck doesn't know what a pizza is. I mean, he knows what everything else is.
or an egg.
They even have their dollar bill has an exact picture of George Washington, except for he has a bill. It's crazy.
Looks like Botox George Washington. Cliff filler. All right. So anyway, this will make you feel better. So there's a 14-minute long set piece in the middle of the movie called in the diner scene where
Cajun
unfortunately
sushi.
Jeffrey Jones gets zapped by the same laser, but this is now it's a portal has brought the Dark Lord, the Overlord of the universe, into his body. And rather than do like any makeup or like practical effects, they just had Jeffrey like pretend he's being taken over and use a funny voice for about 7 of those minutes. And then
Oh yeah.
they mess up his hair for the minutes 9 through 11. And then he starts talking like
Oh yeah, you're
Beetlejuice for a
right.
little bit. And then he goes full monster.
Yeah.
He kidnaps Leah Thompson. And now it's, Howard and Tim Robbins have to like go on this adventure to like rescue her. And that kind of fills out the third act of the film. But yeah, so of
Wow.
course they go back to the lab, and of course they zap the bad guy out of Jeffrey Jones, but unfortunately he appears as this big monster who's the Overlord, and it's a stop motion disaster.
It
But
is really bad. And they had established earlier on, and I'm going with the rules of the universe. They had
yeah,
established that these monsters could not live without a human host, but all of a
right.
sudden it
But then he
can.
did. Yes,
Yeah,
right,
so
right.
it's
Okay,
okay. Got it.
all right. We're trying to rationalize a talking duck movie, like. But anyway, so there's a big fight at the end, and Howard gets hold of like a laser car, and he blows up the Overlord, and he blows up in the process, and he kills the Overlord, but you think Howard's dead, but he's not dead. He comes back to life, and then everybody's happy. And then Leah has this big finale where she performs the Howard the Duck song. And of course, Tim Robbins has to be there, so he's the stage manager now, apparently. And and then Howard goes out there and plays guitar while the credits roll. And I
Oh,
was like openly weeping. Like, please, what did you just do to me? And that's the end, guys. Thank you.
there you go. You may leave the theater.
That's enough. So let's talk about awards and accolades, Mike. That were none.
Accolades.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope there's some.
This had a $5 million opening against a $38 million budget, so that not good. Ended up doing about 16 million domestically, so word of mouth was undecidedly not very good for this movie.
Word of beak.
Yeah, word of beak. Thank you. I did make a little bit more money on an international release. It made about $38 million, so it might have broke even.
It must have done well in France.
Yes, it did. Where it really cleaned up on the award circuit, of course, Mike, was the Razzies.
Yes.
It got 8 of them, a record at the time. Won 3, including Best Picture, Best Screenplay, and Worst New Star, and Worst Visual Effects. So there you go.
It was worse news. Was it Leah Thompson? No, she was in Back to the Future.
No,
What
it was Howard.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't consider him a star, but yeah.
Our companion association there, the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, also gave this Worst Picture, of course. So there you go. This was meant. The legacy of this film is just that it's known for being just a big pot of crap, which it is. But there is, I guess, this is one of those movies that we have our cult movie phenomenon argument again, Mike. Where is it a cult movie because it's a good thing that people like, or is it a cult movie because we can't believe what we just saw? It's one of those deals where this is frequently shown in the midnight movie circuit. Black people like to claim this is a good cult movie.
I know it's not.
I'm going to argue that point.
I think the only cachet it has is this the first Marvel comic brought to the big screen.
Yeah, we'll get to that here
in a blockbuster kind of form.
With that Marvel affiliation, he made a cameo in the more recent Marvel universe. He made a cameo at the post-credit scene of the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he was actually in all 3.
Okay.
And if you look at the Avengers Endgame finale, if you slow down the footage, you can see final battle there. He comes out with Doctor Strange with his group of Avengers for the final battle. You can see how
he's doing his quack foo.
Yes, he's actually locked and loaded, Mike. I did a little research on Howard because I just had to justify wasting that many hours of my life without getting something out of it. This is a comic book from I want to say almost 1973, and it's been relatively successful. It's tied to like Swamp Thing as well. Mm-hmm. But it was more of a Fritz the Cat vibe. You mentioned that earlier, Mike. The original Howard the Duck was more of a social satire, and he did not look the way he was drawn. The illustration made nothing. He looked nothing like the film version. He looked more like really the character is seen in the Marvel, the later Marvel movies. But he had a copyright infringement with Disney because they thought he copied Donald Duck too closely. So they made him put on pants.
Oh my god!
The Disney lawyer said, "Okay, you're fine now." But yeah, he was more of a Fritz the Cat type, social satire comic book, underground comic, which is pretty successful. Didn't translate to film though, obviously. But
no.
Maybe if they would have took the tones and themes of that comic book and portrayed them, then maybe who knows? But
yeah. Who knows?
I don't want to be an armchair quarterback.
No, I mean, you could say if it was like a Today movie, you would say they were trying to please too many people.
Yeah,
but
that's basically what it was,
and that's what it seemed like. Like I said, they was trying to be like one of those summer movies that attracts the whole family, but no.
And I mean, I can understand how it got made, especially with Lucas. I mean, Lucas, to be fair, probably had a fair sense of like confidence, given the fact that he'd been putting out these monster hits for
for sure
15 years straight. Everything he touched turned to gold. So this was a extreme premise, but it had the foundations of being a watchable blockbuster. But of course, it was not. But anyway,
it was definitely not.
Yeah. So none of this stuff really matters, Mike, except how we feel about it, the writers and producers of the show. So
I'm sure the audience has no idea.
Yeah, so we've probably shown our cards here, but let's go through the motions, Lee. This comes to the section of our podcast we like to call our Grumpy Meters, more or less the premise of the show, where we go back and look at these movies we watched as young film fans back in the day, with a different set of perspectives and different value system, and then we watch them again under the guise of grumpy old jerks to see how our opinions change on them one way or the other. So, Mike, why don't you go head us off? Talk about if there was the first time, or
no,
okay,
there was no first time,
or why not? And then you can talk about your most recent watch and give us your final take on this film. So there you go.
I had a bad feeling about this movie from the start. I don't know why. Even when I was 15 years old, there was no idea. There was no way. There's no way I was going to watch this movie. It just sounded so stupid on the surface for a teenager kid, you know, because I was like we were just saying, it didn't seem. It seemed aimed at like a family kind of movie. So you think, well, is it for kids or is it for like dumb adults?
It's kind of like that Goonies argument we made, where we were probably missed the boat age wise to even be interested in this. So
yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't want to belabor the point. Like I said,
why not?
they could have done a lot more with the science in this. You know, like they even had Richard Kiley, you know, the guy who narrated the Jurassic Park, you know, film. The video.
I thought he played Larry at the Regal Eagle.
No, don't start the Richard K thing again.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he narrated the you know, at the start where he's talking about the cosmos.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, this is really intriguing, you know. And like I say, it totally falls apart. The city of Cleveland, their Chamber of Commerce should have sued this movie. I was hoping they did. I was hoping that was part of the aftermath, but unfortunately, no.
Pretty bad when you make Cleveland look worse.
I know, and there wasn't even like a credit in the in credits that said thank you to the people
producers
of
wish
Cleveland.
to thank the people of Cleveland. Yeah,
because I don't think there was anything about Cleveland in this movie. Scenes where our two idiot heroes are flying in a stupid flying contraption, you know, show mountains in the background.
I can't get down. I don't know how it works.
And somehow they end up on these marshes, and they're like buzz bombing like duck hunters, and you know, the whole it's like a 15 to 20 minute like flying scene where they never learn to like fly away from the road where the cops are. They always follow the freeway. You're flying.
Maybe get away.
and then the thought came to me, wow, Tim Robbins was actually flying like an F-14 in Top Gun. You know,
I know he was
nice sitting with this idiot letting the duck fly. By the way, you know,
Andy
no
Dufresne.
Idea. I know, Oscar winner. But the fight scenes were total cringe. There was a lot of dwarf tossing in the movie, which, you know, I appreciate that. It's probably only like plus in my column. Special effects were pretty bad, especially when you hear it's a $37 million picture.
Yeah,
so, wow.
They picked their spots. Yeah.
There were a lot of cop cars were destroyed, and I guess, you know, the opening credits with the space that kind of took up a lot, and showing all the duck special effects that we get buzzed with in the first couple minutes. Right. You know, that's a
shocking amount of trucker hats in this movie too.
And
did anybody know how to wear a hat in the 80s?
Southern accents appear and disappear out of nowhere. I don't know. The Cape Sushi Diner, they like got there in 5 minutes of driving from the laboratory, although they have to fly for like I said, for like it would seem like
4 or 5 hours. Yeah.
To get back to this place. I know a clue why. I don't know why our bumbling Tim Robbins scientist had been arrested in the first place. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, it just kind of showed. It just happened. Yeah.
The target coordinates they used, the demon guy uses, were actually only 3 digits, which made me giggle thinking of like what an actual latitude, longitude coordinate is. And why did the Cajun Sushi Diner serve just plain fried eggs and ducks? I didn't quite get that. Like I said, the lead is such an unlikable protagonist. There's no way you can like this guy. Now you could have made him like an anti-hero, you know, like you said from the original comic, and kind of make him more
like Rocket Raccoon would have been
like a crusty, insult, cigar chomping Don Rickles kind of character. I mean, that would have been really cool. I would have liked that, but I didn't like this movie at all. Wow, I'm bearing the lead. The weird bestiality between, you know, the Leah Thompson character and Howard the Duck is just weird. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest elephant in the room, is that whole idea that they become boyfriend and girlfriend by the end of this. Weird. Fun fact, duck biology, for y'all out there, ducks have barbed kind of corkscrew shaped penises so that the female can't get away. If you can kind of picture that in your mind. And I thought about that when I was watching this. So there you go. Enjoy.
All right, I'm cutting you off. That's enough.
Anyway, we've seen some bad movies here. This was easily. Kevin Costner, I am sorry. This was the worst movie we've seen by a long
All right.
shot.
Look at you. That a
It was
boy.
the probably comedy movies kind of bother me the most. I feel like this bad comedy movies really inflict a lot of pain on me, and
Yeah.
obviously I need to show you on the doll where I got touched by this movie. So there you go.
All right. Well, okay. Well, Mike, I love the film. I thought it was great. I loved every
I'm
minute
sure.
of it. No, actually, no, I did not. Same thing. I think I probably watched. I didn't care to see this in the theater because of my age. I probably missed the boat. And when I saw it like for free on HBO or whatever, I would go in and out.
Quick, was this rated PG or R? It didn't have any cussing in it. It was PG.
This was a PG. Yeah.
Okay. Duck boots.
So yeah, I guess the MPAA didn't have rules for guidelines for duck genitalia.
Can't you see them scratching their heads when they were reviewing it for the rating?
You imagine the court battle. No, Your Honor.
Disney says and he needed to put on a bikini top.
Let the record show that Mike referred to a corkscrew barbed penis. Anyway, I used to watch bits and bobs of this when I was on cable. I was like, there was nothing that like hooked me in other than just the oddity of it. It was one of those things where sometimes something titillating and something odd can like draw you in, or it can repel you. And it did the latter for me. So I said, there's nothing I need to see about this. And then reputation and legacy kicked in. It's like, well, there's really no reason we don't want to see this. So, and then 40 years later. As a hobby, we decided to do a podcast and we started to talk about this. I'm like, okay, well, let's bite the bullet here. And it was a bullet. It was horrible. Did not like it at all. What made me feel bad is like, I share the same sentiment you are. When a comedy lets you down, it's terrible because
it's really bad.
Because life's hard enough, right? And you would hope that, something with a little levity for, 93 minutes or whatever, you just take you away. But
yeah,
I think this movie had the bones to be something good. It could have been good.
Yeah.
If they would have maybe taken. I like your Rickles approach. If Howard the Duck was a Triumph the Insult comic type characters of the entire movie, I would have been set.
Yeah,
because there was so much to make fun of. You could have made fun of Tim Robbins and Jeffrey Jones and Leah Thompson the entire movie, and I would have been more than happy about that.
There were a couple chuckles I had from a couple of insults he had, and I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Those were the only bright spots when he was being dark and mean.
Yeah.
But again, that may be a different time. Who knows? But just not good. But I did realize that this was probably the quintessential movie to start this particular series for Mike, because we talked a little bit about the last time on the last episode where our shows have a distinctly different vibe when we talk about bad movies versus good movies. We enjoy doing both, but me and Mike have a streak about us where nothing makes us happier than to goof on a movie, and so we thought we'd push this to the extreme and start this summer series for all y'all. So, so to that effect, to wrap up the show, we're going to put a new installment in to accompany this new Bombs Away series. We're going to call it the Bomb Squad. Mike.
Oh, wow.
We are the Grumpy Nostalgia Bomb Squad, the last line of defense against forgotten cinematic disasters. We stand where others flee, into the bargain bins, dusty VHS shelves, dollar DVD racks, and the darkest corners of Roku and Tubi. We stand where others flee, Mike. We willingly march into battle armed with nothing but sarcasm, apathy, and an unhealthy knowledge of ancient cinema. We do not fear plot holes, montages, sax solos, or slow-motion explosions. We do not retreat from bad acting, feathered hair, or breakdancing, Mike. We do not surrender to terrible sequels, unnecessary reboots, or crappy-ass special effects. We shall mock with honor. No film is too cheesy, no script is too ridiculous, no box office bomb is beyond our reach. Our mission is clear: to watch what others won't, to remember what others have wisely forgotten.
Oh.
So to that effect, we're going to do a public service here. We're going to talk about other bombs from this year, 1986. We're going to come in and defuse them to make sure that our viewing public is safe and can move on with their lives. But we're going to cover some other films that are classified as bombs, and we're going to defuse them for you guys. So
these are movies that people should not watch.
Well, we're going to.
Or is it under advisement kind of thing?
I think these bombs are in your video on your video rental shelf, and you're not quite sure if you should rent them, if they're dangerous or not. We're going to come in there and defuse the
Okay.
situation for you. So we're going to pick three from this banner year of 1986, and believe me, there was like 50 to choose from.
Banner.
We're taking about three that we find the most toxic. So the first one to that effect, Mike, is a little film called Maximum Overdrive.
Oh no!
This movie had a $10 million budget, written and directed by Stephen King, but only pulled off about $7 million. Currently sitting at about 4% on the Rotten Tomato meter, Mike.
So worse than Howard the Duck.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about this film, and if it's safe to proceed, or we need to diffuse this one. What do you think, Mike? So, what's your take on it?
Oh, I haven't seen the whole movie, but I've seen enough of it to be aware that this was a stinkaroo that mostly takes place around a gas station, and we have to rely on our hero Emilio Estevez to to get everybody to safety. And filmed in North Carolina, and that's about the only good thing about it. Stephen King's movies are such a mixed bag, and I think I could be wrong. This one's probably in the top. Well, this was probably his worst movie.
Okay.
If I was going to say of all, there's others that come to mind but they're more like TV kind of movies. This one, as far as being an actual release in a theater, should have never happened.
Right.
It is parts. I remember just almost falling asleep and just thinking how boring this movie was. And the horror in it is just derived from, just machines becoming alive and trucks actually being the villain. And that just doesn't translate into a full length movie. I want to say this is from like a short that was kind of stretched out into a full movie.
It's a short story, right? Yeah.
It should have been maybe in part of an anthology like Cat's Eye or Creep Show, but no, it does not deserve a full run of movie because it's just so stupid and boring.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to give an all clear on this one, Mike. I think it's fun enough. There's the comic violence. I think is great. I think the cast is silly. It's a watchable thing. It's one of those things where it's terrible, but it's a fun terrible. It's a quick read. It's mostly shot in focus and in color, so that's good too. But I remember watching this as a teenager. We were very, very late at night and being shocked by the violence and stuff. And I watched it more recently here, and I'm like, okay, this is just trash. But I don't think it's dangerous. But
it could have been. It could if they had $37 million to throw at it, it might have been something a little bit more know.
Okay.
Exciting.
All right. So far so good. We've maintained all of our digits, Mike. Nothing's blown off yet. So let's take the next ticking box here. This is a movie called Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, man.
A couple weeks before this one. This was classified as a bomb, Mike, because this had a $25 million budget. Only raked in about 10 million. And this is, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell teaming up again after The Thing and some other collaborations. Escape from New York, which we covered a few shows back. But you want to give your this? Of course, this features Al Long too. Al Young.
That's right.
With the ice cream cone not wedged into the back of the skull.
No, there's Victor Hongen too, my favorite.
Yeah.
If you're going to call a movie that got legs after it left the theater and became a cult classic, it would definitely be this movie. It's wacky fun. It's so silly and almost retarded at times, but it's so just funny. It's actually hilarious watching this movie, and the effects, especially when some of the guys kind of change into like demons and stuff. It's really bad, but I don't know. I think it's just so much wacky fun that like it.
Yeah.
I have to just love it because it's camp to me. And some of John Carpenter's later movies, especially in the mid late 80s, early 90s, are camp. We saw They Live.
Sure.
Again, not really great for its like special effects, but just a fun movie to watch. And it's just one of those. You know it's not serious, and that's the best part of it.
Well, I'm with you too. I think this movie has aged quite well. I think this was one of those. I think we chalked up just kind of a little. It was released too soon, a little before its time.
Yeah.
It just was in a crowded summer that just didn't really fit. I think the public was ready for this, but I get like this and like Escape from New York, and They Live. These things have legs because they're good stories,
Yeah.
and they have good characters, and they have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's there to entertain you, and those things get deciphered over time. And I think this is one of those things that, even though it has a bomb status, as like did make a lot of money, I think this
Yeah.
thing kind of came around. So I think this is an
Now,
all clear as well.
I will say, stay away from John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars. That one's a little sketchy.
Okay. I think Big Trouble is probably one of those ones that has to get on our radar at some point. It's like
Yeah,
destined to be
I
covered on this
think
podcast.
so.
All right, we'll put that on the pile. All right, we're gonna bring it home here with our last title, and I'm gonna go a little bit niche here, Mike, because there's just so much weird stuff about this movie. I felt compelled to like bring it to the audience's attention. I'm gonna talk about King Kong Lives, Mike.
Oh wow!
This is one of the more, from a technical standpoint, this is logistically one of the bigger flops. This was a $18 million movie that only pulled in $5 million. It's a Dino De Laurentiis film shot in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Mike. so what could go wrong, right? But a lot of people don't realize this is actually a sequel to the 1977 King Kong movie, or the 1976 movie, 75.
Oh wow! Yeah, I barely even remember. I remember Linda Hamilton's like the only thing I recall.
Yeah, the sequel. This is a sequel to the Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange King Kong.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
the
I
premise,
can-
yeah,
Wow.
the premise is that after King Kong fell off the World Trade Center, he didn't really die, Mike. He was just put into a coma, right? And somehow somebody picked him up and moved him to a secret location.
Somehow.
They don't explain that. He just ends up in a lab. But he has a heart problem, Mike, and so they realize if they're going to bring Kong back to life, they've got to find a blood transfusion. So they send the film's hero, who I don't even remember, but I know the female lead was Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
She took this movie because it made the same kind of movie made Jessica Lange famous. She thought, you know what, this is my path to easy street. I'm just going to get in King Kong Lives and I'll be famous.
Wow.
But anyway, the premise is that the lead goes to Skull Island and finds another Kong, a female Kong, lady. They call her Lady Kong, and they gas her and bring her back to New York and give her a blood transfusion. and it wakes Kong up, and then of course Kong gets the hots for her, and they form a real relationship and have a baby. And of course the government is trying to kill Kong, and it's the special effects here are, let's say, not as good as the first one. The first one was laughable and horrible, but it's just a big guy in a suit, and everything's shot with like force perspective and green screen. So it's anyway.
Oh my
Most people have
gosh.
not seen this, and rightfully so. This is a VHS rental when you got nothing else to pick from
So,
in the 80s. So
like I said, I have vague memories. So he gets a girl, basically gets a girlfriend.
they find Lady Kong, and then Lady
Okay.
Kong donates some of her blood to him, so his heart transplant goes through, and then it revives him. And then as he comes back, he's revived. He develops feelings for
and they run. They break the
Lady
chains.
Kong.
And get out or something.
Yeah, they get out, of course, and roam free and love and
Oh.
live and laugh and love like every young couple would do.
Oh wow! So that's like the end. There was no like. I guess De Laurentiis had maybe a plans for like a throuple of this kind of.
I don't want to spoil the ending because I think people should see it.
Okay.
No, this one here is not an all clear. This is a runaway, like Fuse and Getaway. This is a very unhealthy situation. We need to evacuate the cinema immediately, Mike. So
As soon as you say that dreaded Dino De Laurentiis kind of, I'm like, I know to get away. I know the budget will be slashed, and
yes.
any effects you're looking for will not be found here, kind of thing. So yeah, that's
it was so bad that Dino would only screen clips of the movie to critics that guaranteed to give it a good review.
Oh, jeez.
And I think like 3 people took him up on it. But yeah, so King Kong lives, guys. And stay away, run away.
Wow.
There you go. All right, so this we're gonna have to wrap this up, guys. We're really just spent. This was just a horrible experience for us, but we did it for you. And unfortunately, we decided to sign up for 2 more of these. So we're going to do a series this summer. We're going to go ahead and announce the films we're going to do now, so you guys can be prepared. We're going to talk about Cutthroat Island as well, and we're also going to talk about Jaws 3D. So just we felt that as a public service announcement, we should feel free to warn you that those movies are coming down the pipeline. And just
Warning.
if you don't want to listen to those, we will completely understand. But we hope you do, because there's something to be said of going back and looking at bad movies as well. Because we've stuck by the same adage that there are no bad movies. They're just movies you don't like. We're going to talk about movies that a lot of people didn't like, but there may be some sort of inherent charm of these things that you might feel compelled to revisit, and we want to take on that ride as well. So please come back is what we're trying to say. So. All right, so that'll kind of wrap it up. So, but if you're interested about anything about the show, go seek help immediately. But what you can also do in the meantime is you can check out our Instagram page. That's the Grumpy Nostalgia. We have a webpage called grumpynostalgia.buzzsprout.com. That's a one-stop shop for all things Grumpy Nostalgia, including these profiles of me and Mike, and a complete archive of all of our shows. We have a YouTube channel that nobody watches, so don't feel obligated to do so as well. And that'll kind of wrap it up for this week. So, Mike, anything you want to say to the gang before we head out and we'll get on with our lives?
Duck boobs.
Quack, quack.
Perfect. I can't unsee it. All right, so for Mike James, this is Justin, and we'll see you again next time. Now that we're off the air, I'll be frank. This is one of those movies where I hit the 10-second ahead button a few times. I just wow, it was just. I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. It's gonna be the screwball drive for a little bit, and they're gonna crash.
Why did they have poor Dr. Jones drive after you've been through that horrible spectroscope explosion? I'm like, can't Phoebe Cates or whatever drive?
Yeah. Anyway.
Jesus.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
that one hurt.
It did. I had Emmy with me watching it, and she was like, "This is the worst movie I've ever seen." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
I mean, at least with The Room or Birdemic, they take themselves so seriously, you laugh at it. This one, like I said,
This one wanted you to like it, and you don't.
No.
All right, that's enough.